Y'all, we are going to continue playing Gilded Shadows today. Guess what? Last time we finally entered into Magnus's route. He was today's boyfriend, the target of our affections. He was the one that I wanted. Because listen, I said, hey, if you've played Gilded Shadows before, who is the most red flag of all the love interests? Who is the most trash of all the trash bandos? And everybody said, Magnus. And I was like, that's the one that I want. Because I do like me some trash bandos. I like a good red flag, yes I do. So far, we have not been disappointed in this Indio Tome romance game. It's in a sci-fi setting. There's been drama, there's been action, there's been intrigue, there's been mystery, there's been all the things. And man, it has been good. Now here's the thing, okay, about Magnus. I'm a lover of red flags. I am fully aware that I will probably be entering into some dicey territory. Hi, Jambi. He's a little quirky. Yeah, see, listen, it's not his fault, okay? He probably has a tragic backstory, right? It's fine. I'm fully aware that I'd probably be entering in some interesting behavior from this man. If he is as red as a red flag as people keep telling me that he is. Also, comes with the territory of red flags, Ash told me that he's not the most popular love interest in the game. Here's the thing, okay? I'm dying to find out why. Some people hate this man. Why? Why? And then there's some of us that love him. Now, I mean, I've only gotten started with this guy, you know? We're gonna start chapter 2 today. So I suppose I should wait to judge him until I've actually seen more of his route. And that's what we're gonna do today. Jambi says wild because he's so much fun, but infuriatingly so. Ooh, see, that's my type. That's my type, Jambi. See, he's already been trolling, you know? He's already been teasing and trolling every moment that he gets. But he's also smooth and he's charming, you know? He's a little bit of a tease. He's also beautiful. So he has a lot of interesting things going on with his character. Folks that don't like him are just pearl clutchers. That's right, Jambi. Tell him. I have a feeling I'm about to be a Magnus apologizer, but we'll see. All right, folks, why don't we get back to our story? Yes. Looks like I accidentally pressed a button. And we're going to begin with chapter 2, the role of queen. Guess who the queen is? It's me. But queen in this is more of a indicator of your type of psychic abilities and how powerful you are. And because I, the MC, I have a Queen Esper psychic abilities, which means I'm pretty dang powerful and everyone wants me. Yep, everyone. Here we go. I pulled my shirt over my head, smoothing it down before I sat on the edge of the bed and waited for my escort to arrive. It was mid-morning, and I was being discharged after a few hours of being scanned, poked, and examined again. It had been a daily exercise since I woke 2 days ago. My psi had been stable except one small spike during one of the counseling sessions Dr. Sasaki set up for me. At this point, he felt my recovery would be aided by being in a more comfortable environment. At the very least, my sanity would be. He hadn't been amused when I said that. His sense of humor, he takes everything literally, doesn't he? Apparently, it was insulting I didn't find his infirmary more comfortable. I was looking forward to leaving, though. Who wanted to stay in a hospital? Not me. But even if I was leaving, I was still banned from using psi until I recovered, which would be some time. Not that I wanted to use it anyway. The elites were still to stay suppressed when in my vicinity as well. Okay, so other people that have powers. So they can't suppress my powers with a little bracelet. They tried, it didn't work. But they can suppress their own powers with their little bracelet. And so that's why she's saying the elites were still to stay suppressed when in my vicinity as well. Because as a queen, I can mimic the powers of other espers. And yeah, supposed to be dampening all of that. Also, we're kind of new to this whole thing. We're incredibly powerful, but we don't know how to harness our powers yet. That could make things a little bit tricky. There was a soft tap at the door, interrupting my thoughts. Come in. It slid open, but the person there was Dr. Sasaki, no escort in sight. Please tell me it's not a last-minute exam. Come to say goodbye. He smiled thinly, as if he knew what I'd been thinking. I received a notice your escort is on the way. I will walk with you to meet them, if you're ready. Thank God! I am. He nodded expectantly towards the door. I hopped off the bed and followed as he left the room. Who do y'all think our escort is? Is it Magnus? Wouldn't that be nice? I'd prefer to keep you under observation for another few days. Yes, you've made that quite clear. Believe me. And yes, I'm aware that you're my physician and it's your job to look after me. You've also made that quite clear. Endgame is overrun with problem patients who refuse to cooperate when I try to look after them. I found it necessary to repeat myself often. I bet. I'll do my best not to add to your stress. If those circles under your eyes get any worse, I'm afraid you may be the one needing medical care. Ooh, girl, ooh. Giving him sassing this man, giving him the verbal smackdown. He looked surprised by the teasing for a moment, before letting out a dry chuckle. I appreciate the concern for my well-being. If more agents were that considerate, I would likely not struggle with the periorbital. I can't voice act this man because I can't say half of these words. Periorbital with dark circles. Right? Burn! But I will not deny fatigue is any doctor's constant companion. I hope you're looking forward to a change of scenery, as the others put it. Despite my trepidation, I hope you will better acclimate to your new situation outside the infirmary. I have to read that again. Despite my trepidation, I hope you will better acclimate to your new situation outside the infirmary. And that will, in turn, speed your general recovery. Once you are outside, my ability to keep a close watch on you. It is possible the Council will attempt to rush you into training. I have insisted that you are not to begin training until you are medically cleared to do so. However, they, like my patients, do not always cooperate. You will inform me if they attempt to override my decision, yes? Of course, yes, of course I will. Yeah. Sooner or later, I was gonna need to face my official recruitment into Endgame, but it wasn't something I wanted to rush. The longer I could put it off, the better. Even better if I had the equivalent of a note from my doctor. I believe I told you not to think of futile things. I started when I realized how close Dr. Sasaki's face was to mine. Why are you so close to me? Pushing him back a little, I looked away. a frown passing over my face. I'd not quite got used to this tendency to ignore people's personal space when observing them. Hi, Midnight. Thank you for redeeming Treat a Pup. Guess who just walked into the door and definitely wants a treat? Yep, you guessed it. There's 2 dogs. Well, let's go ahead and turn on dog cam, shall we? Hi, Bo. Look at you. Aren't you so handsome? Didn't you just have doggy dinner? Yes, you did. You just had doggy dinner and now you want doggy dessert. Which are these? Your favorite thing ever. Look at him. Look at him licking his lips over this. Who wants a treat? Mr. Bo does. Hey, Bubba. Mr. Buddies. Hey. He does look happy. He looks happy with his sad dog face. Okay, Bubba, come here. Hey, go boy. Hey, Mr. Bo, stand. Good stand. There you go, buddy. Here, Penny. Good girl, Penny. I know I saw that earlier today. I saw Infold's Caleb advertisement. I was like, oh, okay, Caleb's getting basketball and Valco continues to get nothing. Thanks, Infold. What are you doing? All the comments were about Valco. Every single one. You would like him to spin. Hey, Mr. Bo, spin. Good spin. Bo, sit. Good sit. Good boy. There you go. You know what's funny? He is acting like he's hungry. He just had his full-blown dinner. Freshly cooked. He had fresh cooked dog dinner just a while ago. And these dogs act like I don't feed them. Like my husband and I don't feed them. Top-notch gourmet dog food every day that we cook with our bare hands. Yep. He's such a good boy. Yes, he is. And Penny is under the desk. So because you can't see her, she's getting snackage for free. I know, Infold playing in our bushes. Boop the snoot. Boop. Here you go. Here you go, Penny. Happy dogs. No matter how much they eat, they always want to eat more. That's the truth. That is the stone cold truth of doggos. Habo. You always want more, don't you, buddy? But you're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And we work in the snackage. We work that into their daily calories. So that way they're always in tip-top shape. They had their senior dog vet visit not that long ago, and they said they were in perfect condition. They were very well taken care of, and they were the perfect body proportions and composition for their breed and their size. It's funny because he keeps smiling when you look at him and sad, please give me a snack face. I know. And yes, say hi to Penny. Yes. She's just right under the desk down here. She's just having a good time cuddling up on my feet. Well, they're all happy. Bo's ready to take a dog nap, so let's get back to our story, shall we? Yes. Yep, it's doggo nap time. Sad dog nap time. You said not to think of them too much. You neglected to define how much is too much, though. I like how sassy MC is being right now with this man. All the sass. At the point it brings such a frown to your face, it's already too much. A soft chuckle escaped. He could be pedantic about the most annoying things. I wasn't thinking about anything futile. Just that I have my own reasons for wanting to put off learning to use psi. Ah, so you wish to use your doctor's advice as a defense. Good. You'll need more time to adjust and to heal. I believe the others have little respect for how unique your situation is. Their basis will be power surges they see in the children who come here. Your situation was of a different magnitude. Yep, most people didn't get kidnapped the way that I got kidnapped, and then having to run for my life from all these people who are after me and accidentally discovering my abilities that I don't know how to control. Most people didn't have to deal with all of that mess. Poor MC, and then having amnesia, and then being in the hospital for 2 weeks. It was horrible. Yes, because a child's psi isn't as developed as mine was when the expansion happened. You mentioned that. And also because children are not usually severely traumatized by their arrival here as you were. That part, I was very traumatized. How dare they? They totally didn't treat me with any kind of respect whatsoever. They kidnapped me. Everybody was trifling, all of them. The council has no one but themselves to blame for their precious queen rank requiring ample recovery time. Based on what I know of them already, I'm sure they'd love hearing that. Whether or not they love it, it's exactly what I shall tell them if they try to rush your recovery. So, you may use my orders as your excuse. Thank you, Doctor. Will it do any good? I know I'm new, but I already get the feeling people don't stand up to the council often. But Dr. Sasaki does. They are our governing body, if you will, but I refuse to allow it to be a dictatorship where the health of the agents is involved. They know this about me. I will override their orders if I need to. How long have you been the chief medic here? I mean, you seem pretty young. 6 years, and I'm not as young as I look. Did you come here as a child, like most of the agents? Yes, though I was older than most. My situation was, in a way, also unique, but still very different from your own. And my arrival to Endgame was both a positive experience and an improvement from my previous living situation. I see. I'd been working through my feelings about all this, and I still hadn't decided if it would have been better had I come here as a child like everyone else. It would have been easier, less painful, but better? I still didn't know. Dr. Sasaki, do you think it's possible I'll be able to... He cut me off, gently tapping his display against my forehead and clicking his tongue. That's enough of that talk for now. You are upsetting yourself again. Do not deny it. Anxiety has clear physical markers, which you are exhibiting. Do not force me to scan you to prove it. I've been scanned and prodded enough for today, I think. Then it would be wise to ensure I don't need to do it again to prove a point. Dr. Sasaki and I neared the end of the infirmary hall, right as two unfamiliar women entered. Look at these people! One of them grinned when she saw us. Unknown person. You! Didn't expect you to bring her down to us. I wasn't bringing her to you, Mara. When I received notice Rue's escort was on the way, I expected your wife and other members of her guard. They got called out to the field earlier. Van asked if Odette and I could take over. And don't worry, we're aware of the mandate to keep our psi suppressed around her. She held up her wrist, to reveal the inhibitor fastened there. Very good. I'll entrust her to you then. Dr. Sasaki turned back to me, a frown on his face. For the time being, I'd like you to keep yourself restricted to your quarters. I will stop by tomorrow to check on you. If your psi remains stable outside the medical wing, I will allow you to begin looking around the facility. We can't suppress the psi of every Esper in our ranks until you recover. If it appears to be enough to suppress our top-ranking agents, there's no reason to restrict your movements. You will contact me right away if you exhibit any unusual symptoms, yes? My internal messaging hasn't been reinstated. The look of annoyance on his face was almost amusing. He muttered the word ridiculous under his breath. He's like, don't tease me. You should be able to use the console in your room to contact me if need be. Mara will ensure this is the case before she leaves you alone. Speaking of names, it's considered a basic courtesy to lead the introductions between new people when you know everyone in both parties you. She shot me a grin. I'm Mara, and yes, I'll make sure your console is operational before I leave your quarters. As far as I'm aware, you have a functional larynx and are more than capable of leading the introductions yourself, unless your phonation ability is being affected by a medical condition I'm unaware of. If I need to do an exam of your vocal folds... I held in a laugh as he reverted to medical jargon right away, something I had noticed he did when working or trying to irritate someone. Every time this man does this. Every time. Guaranteed. You, don't give me that. You can take your vocal fold examination and... I'm Odette. First guard. King's Bishop. It's nice to meet you. Rue, was it? She ruthlessly cut off the argument as she stretched her hand out to me. And I got the feeling this level of bickering was pretty common. I reached for her hand with a quiet laugh, but you left off bantering with Mara and batted my wrist away. Despite that we are all wearing inhibitors, it might be best to avoid physical contact as much as possible until we verify your psi is stable, particularly for those of us with more problematic abilities such as bishops and equally problematic knights. Don't want her to accidentally phase through a wall. It is the likelihood of her not phasing out of it that concerns me. Phasing through a wall? I'll explain on our way to your room. So I couldn't touch anyone or wander around. Fun. Mara spared a nod to Dr. Sasaki before she stepped back toward the door. I turned back to him with a slight smile. Thank you for everything. Sorry to be such a problem patient. No need. I was merely doing my job. And I'll be seeing you again quite soon anyway. So there's no need for an extended farewell. Be sure to rest and not exert yourself, Rue. I'll remember. He left us there, and after a brief pause, I followed Mara and Odette. They led me for the first time out of the infirmary and into a wide, tall corridor. It was like passing from one world to the next. The door to the medical wing shut behind us, and for a moment I felt strangely lost and overwhelmed, dwarfed by the magnitude of it all. Look at this place. This looks like a really super fancy hotel or something. For a moment we walked without speaking, and I tried to take it all in. But after a while, the silence got me. So the two of you work directly under Magnus? Is that what the King's Guard is? You could say that. Technically, all agents in the organization work under Magnus, but we're more or less his personal bodyguards. I thought you were going to say babysitters.
What's that old saying? Tomato, tomato.
So, that meant the Queen's Guard was comprised of my bodyguards. That didn't make sense considering they had gone out to the field and I had not. The confusion must have been written on my face, because Mara answered my question before I could ask it.
In Endgame, our agents are divided into teams that range between 4 and 8 members. The first guard is an 8-member team with 2 sub-teams called the King's Guard and Queen's Guard. The King's Guard has Magnus at the head hole, then myself, Odette, and one other person, a rook. Your guard has an identical setup, but with you in the central role. Your guard functions more like one of our leading field teams. They take on assignments, much like everyone else.
I noticed she said central and not head, which was a relief. If they expected me to lead a team of psychic soldiers anytime soon, they were guilty of some extreme wishful thinking.
The King's Guard goes into the field less often and sticks closer to the tower to guard Magnus. And to keep him from doing anything stupid when we can.
Yeah, when you can. I've been noticing that everyone seems to have an interesting relationship with Magnus. From what I know of Endgame, he's the commander, but everyone treats him kinda...
like an eccentric weirdo he is.
Well, those weren't the exact words I was gonna use. An eccentric weirdo. I like that. You know what that means? That means he's not boring.
There is a level of irreverence that may take some getting used to, especially among the higher-ranked agents. Ranks and positions aside, most of us have known Magnus for a real long time. It's difficult to not be casual with him.
You know, I kind of like that. When the boss is someone that you're able to be casual with, you know, that you're able to joke around with. I like that in a leader.
Especially given how he acts. I'm sure you've seen that firsthand.
He did strike me as a little odd.
He wanted to come down today himself to be here when you were released, but Sasuke banned him from the infirmary after he kept sneaking in without his psi inhibitor on.
Yeah, I noticed he's reluctant to wear it. He said something about not being able to be disconnected for too long.
Well, there's that. But he's also very inquisitive. He refuses to accept that he doesn't always need to know what would happen if.
He's like a cat, y'all. He's like a cat. He's very curious. I see. That seemed accurate, based on what I'd seen of him.
We've also never known of a queen capable of mimicking king rank abilities. It's usually a hurdle they can't cross.
You're implying that's not the case for me. The two of them shared a look that told me I was right. Sorry, I don't remember much of what happened when I was in the infirmary. Not before a couple of days ago. And I haven't been filled in on all the details.
Well, as you guessed, you demonstrated you can imitate Magnus' ability to manipulate technology telekinetically.
Oh, that's what Magnus does.
You first did it after Magnus returned you to your room during that flashy escape attempt of yours.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Sasuke suspects that it's because Magnus carried you back to your room. The prolonged physical contact may have been the catalyst.
Okay, so it's when people touch me or I touch them that I acquire their abilities? Is that how this works? So if they're just in my vicinity, can I mimic their abilities, or do we actually have to like shake hands? You know? Do we have to like kiss? Magnus carried me back. This was my first time hearing about that. And now it made sense why Sasaki had been worried about me shaking Odette's hand. Ah! Doesn't want you to shake anybody's hand, I guess. I hope I didn't do anything too horrible.
You tried to alter the readout on the medical equipment to prove you were totally fine for release despite the raging fever. And the fact that you barely could walk on your own.
Oh, that seems like something I would do.
Everyone was pretty stunned you could use your abilities that way. You also did it every time you tried to scan your stats for the next few hours. He was very annoyed.
Yep, that also seems accurate.
He doesn't like patients who don't cooperate.
He mentioned that several times.
I'm sure you're relieved to be away from here.
It's nice to see more of this place anyway. I was feeling a little cooped up.
Anne was planning a tour for you, but it looks like it'll have to wait since she's not here, and you want you to stick close to your flat for now.
Just then, my entire guard wasn't planning to escort me around like a VIP.
After the last argument you and Caleb had, Van swore she'd keep him away from you until he could promise not to antagonize you.
Good, because all he's done is antagonize me this entire time. How dare! I wasn't at all sad to hear that. Real, seriously, keep Caleb away from us. I hadn't seen him much since my arrival, but he'd visited the day before yesterday just once. And made it a point to get on my nerves, repeatedly. He was very sore about having a building knocked on his head. Oh, wah. Okay, listen, none of that would have happened if you hadn't tried to kidnap me in the first place. And combined with my irritation at having been kidnapped, oh, sorry, apprehended, rudely. Well, it hadn't made for a pleasant visit.
Ari is keeping his distance now that you're awake, just to ensure you don't accidentally mimic his abilities again. The last time you ended up in the city, it caused a mild panic. Mild is an understatement. The entire place was in an uproar while we tried to locate you.
It sounds like it was a rough week and a half for everyone.
It was interesting, to be sure, but it's also all over with for now. You'd better be able to relax in your own place.
Yeah, my own place that I've never been to before.
And just focus on your recovery. I think it'll be a while before you have to worry about training. I know the council's eager to get you started, but you has made it clear you're not ready.
Yeah, and you probably made a big stink about it, real.
Not that the council wanted to hear it. I'm sure they'll keep pushing.
Is there a reason they're so keen on me getting started?
Well, you are a queen. Setting aside the need to get your abilities under control, Endgame has been without a queen rank for around 10 years now.
Wow, queen ranks must be really rare, super duper rare.
Oh, while several other problematic factions have flaunted theirs.
Several? Aren't queen-ranked espers pretty rare?
They are, but it's a big planet. Endgame being the face of global peace, well, the council doesn't enjoy being outclassed.
That didn't sound like it fit my mental image of Endgame. I guess I should have picked up on the desperation given how I was approached.
The council was desperate. Everyone else was just following orders. Ari and Caleb are your guard, so I hope you don't have hard feelings about that incident.
You know what, Caleb's gonna have to do some work, okay? Caleb is going to have to do some work. He's going to have to grovel. He's going to have to call me your majesty. And he's going to have to kiss my feet. He's going to have to beg for forgiveness. Ari's fine. Ari is good, okay? Ari is fine just the way he is, okay?
Part of your guard. My wife is the other part. And I'm sure if you need to smack Ari and Kale's heads together a few times for stress relief, Van will help you.
Good! They deserve that. It's good to know I'll have someone on my side.
I think you'll find we're all on your side if you give us a chance.
I don't know. It feels a bit like I'm the odd one out. All the rest of you have been here since you were children. I'm not the same.
You aren't the only person to come here as an adult.
Really?
My situation isn't like yours, but I was 27 when I arrived. Only a little younger than you are now. You'll get used to this place. It's just gonna take some time.
I already knew that. It was what happened during that time that had me worried. We were silent for a few minutes, and the lift came to a halt. When we stepped out, it was into a corridor very different from the one we'd been in before. Darker, narrower, with doors along the sides.
This is one of the residential areas. Many of our agents live in other buildings in the complex, but there are higher-ranked agents that live here at the main tower.
I still don't know which one is Mara and which one is Odette. Right or left or right?
Some of the lower-ranked ones down on the lower floors, but this building is mostly administration and training. That's also the main hospital here, as well as some research labs on the subfloors. All the guard members live on this floor. Ben and I are right next door to where you've been assigned, so if you need anything at any point, you can come find us.
She stopped in front of one door, a short way down the hall. There was an embossed D04 on the door.
This is your flat. You can set the password later, but we set it as your birthday for now.
I watched cautiously as she tapped something into an actual keypad and opened the door. Password? That's old school.
In a building full of people who can get into any flat they want with little effort, I don't think they wanted to go all out with the latest in retinal scans and voice recognition. Kind of a waste of money.
Fair enough. Though that meant the passwords were just a formality too, I suppose. A show of security that didn't do much. I followed her into the unfamiliar flat. It was nice, though not too large. Well, I mean, if you have an ability that can't just phase through walls or teleport, you could still keep a bunch of people out with a good old-fashioned password. This place is actually really cute. There was a bedroom, adjoining kitchen. It was bigger than my place in New Albion.
We brought all your things from your previous flat, but your furniture is in a storage unit for now. You can have it moved up if you want it. At first, I intended to recreate your flat here to create a familiar environment for you. Since the rooms are modular, I didn't think it would be difficult.
Recreate my flat? That sounded odd.
Magnus halted the project halfway through, though, and had them do a new room for you. Apparently, after observing you, he thought you'd be unnerved by a recreation of your flat.
You know what? I would probably agree with that. It's much better to have brand new looking digs, you know? And MC needs to be like disconnected from her past. She's having memory issues, you know? She'd probably wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm home. Wait, something's off." And then like every morning would it'd be disconcerting, especially if she continued to have any memory problems, you know? Speaking of which, it's Amnesia Month. If anyone's ever played Amnesia Memories, the Otome game, or watched the anime, it takes place throughout the month of August. So it's rather fitting that we are talking about memory issues during Amnesia Month. I wasn't sure what about our limited time together had given him that idea, but he was probably right. I won't lie, that might have been a little strange to walk into. You know, I would have been weirded out by that. Personally, I wouldn't have liked that. I would be like, you know what? I want fresh, nice, new digs. Yes. But I don't have to pay for it. Oh my, a yawn crept in. As I stepped further into the flat, Mara went to check on a nearby console set up on the table.
This is operational, so you can access the internal messaging system from here. Seems like it's only got limited access, though. Probably just a precaution, but you can at least call medical. Since you'll be sticking close to home for the time being, we'll make sure you can stock the kitchen. A lot of us have dinner in a nearby lounge or the galley, but it's nice to eat in sometimes, too. And Maggie said something about owing you some tangerines. No idea what the hell that's about. Oh.
Tangerines. That was from when we met. That's when we met Magnus for the first time. He had tangerines and he spilled them out in front of us. But I wonder what other... They might be referring to something else in our past that MC just doesn't remember, you know? That could be a thing between MC and Magnus, perhaps. Oh, that was from our meeting in New Albion. Eddie's not wrong. Though Ari and Caleb were the ones who made me drop them all over the street when they recruited me. Oh yeah. Yep, how dare. Recruited, aka kidnapped.
I'm shocked he even remembers that meeting. You must have made an impression.
I don't know about that. We didn't interact much, but I don't think I'm quite that forgettable either. Oh, definitely not. Somehow the strange normalcy of discussing things like stocking a kitchen and where to have dinner was comforting among the rest of the uncertainty. It felt like a burden had been lifted now that I was out of the medical ward. Or at least partially lifted. It was nice to be in a normal feeling environment for a change. Yeah, and they're actually treating us pretty well, you know? They're taking care of our lodging. They're making sure we're getting the best medical care. We've got guards, you know? We've got built-in socialization and we've got friends and stuff. Wow, it's not so bad.
In that case, we'll leave you to get settled, unless you'd like us to stay a while longer.
No, I got the impression Dr. Sasaki wanted me to limit my time around other espers for now anyway.
Alright. Well, like I said, your console is limited, so you can't call me if you need something, but I'll check in later. You can reach the admin in different departments within Endgame, such as medical, so you can contact you if you need anything.
Thank you. For a moment, I just stood near the front door taking deep breaths and trying to get my bearings. My gaze landed on the console Mara had showed me earlier. I wondered who I should talk to about getting more system permissions. Not being able to do something simple like contact people was irritating. Real, that would be annoying. Maybe I'll reach out to the administration later on and see what they can do about it. For the time being, I edged my way into the flat, feeling a bit more like I was in a hotel than in my new living space. Speaking of which, I want to take a good look at this room. This is such a nice place. it looks richy, you know? Like if this was a hotel, it would be like the penthouse suite or something like that. It's so fancy, it's so nice, very spacious. Wow. I'm quite impressed. And it's a 1-bedroom. There's also a bedroom. And it has a kitchen and stuff. It has everything. I would love to live there, honestly. I would totally live there. It was foreign and too tidy to feel like home, but it was still an improvement over the medical ward. I kicked my shoes off and left them by the front, wondering where my personal belongings were. Speaking of tidy, I spent all weekend, all day yesterday, cleaning my home and doing chores. And it's like everything is nicely organized. There's still like some closets I need to go through, you know. But I did a lot of organizing and cleaning, and now it feels much more fresh in here. It sure does. 'Tis a good feeling. Probably in the bedroom. It wasn't like I had very much, if you didn't include my furniture. But instead of going to check that, I went to the sofa and flopped face first into a pillow. Poor MC, she must be exhausted after everything that's happened. Honestly, it would be nice to have a little time alone in your own space that's just yours after that whole ordeal. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little downtime. It still felt like I was stumbling through a dream where nothing was quite real, and everything was turned in on its head. I'd had nothing but time to think about it all, go over every moment in my head again and again. Big changes were always so mundane, despite the way they shook up everything you knew. Everything that had happened was so monumental. But here I was clutching a sofa pillow and realizing I might need to unpack and worry where I'd get lunch. Could I access my bank account? How was I going to pay for stuff? I sat up and rubbed my face. Right. No feeling sorry for myself. I wonder if they put food in the fridge for us. That would have been a nice touch. I'd done enough of that for the last 2 days. So I got up and spent the next 10 minutes poking around my new flat. The first thing I learned was that I didn't need to unpack. I needed to reorganize. They'd unpacked for me, but I'd have to go through it all and find everything. There was a large bedroom just off the main living area. It included a selection of books, only some of which were mine. Others were new. Okay, let's take a look at this. Wow, fancy. My gosh. This is like the nicest bedroom of all time. Oh my gosh. There's a huge bookshelf in there. There's 2 bookshelves. So much storage space. Oh my goodness, that bed, that looks like, what, a California king bed. Yep. Wow. Plus there's like an extra couch in there. This place is swanky. There's 2 big windows, like huge windows. Beautiful art already everywhere. Not only did they give me like the nicest place, there's like they even decorated it. Wow. I won't mind living here at all. Seriously, this is pretty great. It's so nice. This is definitely an improvement. I'm glad they didn't just replicate the little place we were in before. They gave us a glow up, you know. We deserve to have a glow up. I'd only glance at a few of the titles before leaving them to check everything else out. All my kitchenware was put away, though I'd have to reorganize that as well. Who stacks plates that way? I had just gone back into the living area when the door chimed. A slight frown crossed my face. Mara? That was quick. I thought she'd come check on me much later, not 20 minutes later. Oh, hi, Magnus. It's today's boyfriend. I went to open the door, surprised to find, of all people, Magnus Ulrich, standing there burdened with several cloth shopping bags. He went shopping for us. How sweet. I'm not going to ask him if he's wearing an inhibitor. Obviously not. I don't see one, and he doesn't like to. I'm going to assume he's not wearing it, but I'm not going to give him a hard time about that. Ask him if he needs a hand. He's doing us a favor, okay? I'm not going to cause him drama. Need a hand with those. The boy sure can dress. I know. He's fashionable. I have them, but it would be preferable if I could come in. Of course. Though somehow, I'm surprised you're even asking. How mean. I stepped aside to let him come inside, remembering to glance at his wrist to check for the psi inhibitor, only after he was already inside. There was one clasp there, so I guess he decided to be obedient today. He's being a good boy. Bo just looked at me. He said, good boy? Who's a good boy? I'm a good boy. That's my voice for Bo. Magnus carried all the bags to the attached kitchen, setting them down. Dare I ask what all this is about? I call it a housewarming, but it's really just some basics. The council has denied my request to reinstate full system access, and I realized you wouldn't be able to order your own food. The Bo voice, yes. We can't have you starving on us. See, somebody thought about me needing to eat. Thank you, Magnus. You're so sweet. Why? Why do people hate on this man? He's been wonderful. He's been charming. He's been thoughtful, okay? That would be a shame. I agree. Where did all this come from? I can't imagine you went shopping yourself. I might have. You can't picture me perusing the produce section squeezing melons. No, and I've been told you rarely leave the tower. Well, that's true. There are a few shops within our grounds, though, for the convenience of our agents. Still, I ordered them and had them delivered. We can get deliveries here. The shops in our grounds and a few in the city nearby may make deliveries to Cor Solaris, yes. I joined him as he unloaded the items to the counter, both amused and a little touched. A practical gift, huh? I'm surprised. You haven't known me nearly long enough to make those kinds of comments to me, Jitterrue. I think I've got a good feeling for how you usually are with people. He turned to me with an enigmatic smile. I wouldn't be so sure of that. Somehow, that intense look in his blue eyes caused my face to flush warm, and I turned away from him. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this. If I told you it was just an excuse to skip work, would you still be grateful? Grateful, and somehow not remotely surprised. How do you like the place? I picked the design myself. Somehow I thought you'd like something bright and spacious. I do like it. You have excellent taste, Magnus. It is beautiful. Of course, it's beautiful. It's much bigger than my place in New Albion. Oh? Being a prime tier student doesn't mean you get a reasonably sized apartment in the city. Please, no one cares where you live as long as you show up to class on time. Being in prime tier means you get live teachers and not an AI. And the neural enhancements, of course. And those. You suspect those will help you begin your training. You're getting a late start. But you have the benefit of better mental processing than most of our new recruits. Aren't most of your new recruits children? Yes. It's wonderful you'll catch up to them so fast. Are you making fun of me right now, Magnus? And how are you settling in so far? For the half hour I've been here. Weren't they bringing you in here at 8 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
Ah, I must have misremembered. I didn't check the memo before I left my office this morning. I wonder what was happening at 8 o'clock then.
Hopefully nothing important.
This is the man that's in charge, y'all. This is the man that's in charge of everybody. My God. Well, I'm sure I'll figure it out when I get back to my office. I hope you know. If you need anything at all, you can reach out to me.
I'm sure you're busy.
I am, but not too much to help our newest member if she needs it.
Do you give this privilege to all your new members?
Ah, no. I used to go down to the academy ever so often to observe. Children are surprisingly mean.
Oh, yes. Children can be brutal.
They sure can. It's not even surprising.
You got bullied down there, too.
I blame Mara, frankly. She sets a poor example for the others.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with your behavior.
None at all. He's like, it's not my fault. It's Mara's fault. Yes, I did nothing to deserve being teased by a bunch of school children. Anyway, I won't be able to stay long. I'm sure you have had a little time to yourself anyway, and someone is bound to start looking for me any minute. This place isn't much, but I hope it helps in your journey to settle in. Ah, I made sure they brought in some books you might find interesting. You won't have much to do, and with your system access limited, you can't read online. You may wish to visit the archives soon, but there are books on the founding of Endgame and other subjects that might prove useful.
I noticed those, and thank you. Though the Endgame archive. I hadn't even thought about that. A shiver of anticipation went through me. One of the largest and most historically complete information repositories on the planet. And now I have access to it? That was probably the best revelation since my arrival. Magnus chuckled as he went past me, back towards the door.
I hope you don't mind, but you've captured my attention, Rue. I'll be observing your progress moving forward. I'm looking forward to your development and what you bring to this illustrious organization. I already have a feeling things will be much more interesting now that you're here.
I didn't know about it. I doubted I'd affect things that much. He gave me another enigmatic smile as he opened the door.
Rest well. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon.
Well, if you are today's boyfriend and you are our love interest, we will definitely see each other again soon. And he left as quickly as he'd came, just delivering groceries, which struck me as almost humorous, given his position in the organization, though at the very least it solved the problem of what I had had for lunch. I went to finish unpacking everything as he brought and putting it away. I laughed again when I found the bag of tangerines with a note saying, "I believe I owed you these," attached. Oh, how cute. He did remember the tangerine moment. After that was done, I went to explore the books Magnus mentioned, and I curled up to read until Mara came to check on me later, this time with Vanessa in tow. I had a quiet dinner alone, and finally slept in a proper bed for the first time in days. It was a step up from the infirmary, even though I still wasn't sure what the coming days would bring. Chapter 3, The Main Lines. Your progress is adequate, though
I'm seeing some lingering signs of psi fatigue. The new training is stimulating your phoric system more than I would like. You aren't learning any new psi techniques, are you?
Odette said she was keeping you updated on the exact nature of our sessions. All I've been doing is learning some meditation and mental focus strategies. Dr. Sasaki let out a soft, annoyed sigh and tapped into the handheld display he always carried around.
That shouldn't be enough to register this much on your scans, however. It aligns with the profile of someone who possesses an overactive phoric system. With the level of synaptic activity I'm seeing in the lateral Lamvatry nuclei clusters, I imagine the techniques you're learning you have made you more receptive to the psi waves around you. Even when they're being suppressed, the adaptability of your psi continues to astound.
He looked at me over the top of the display, eyebrow raised.
And how do you feel about your new schedule?
I don't mind it. I spend most of my spare time reading. But it's nice to get out of my flat for a while. I don't want to push myself or start training too early, but I dislike sitting around feeling like I'm not doing anything. And I suppose there's a part of me that dislikes having this ability I can't control, especially if it can lead me to actually harming myself. Frustrating as it is, even this amount of training makes me feel a little more in control of my situation. He was observing me carefully as I spoke, undoubtedly looking for signs of stress, anxiety, or avoidance, but he seemed satisfied.
An understandable response. I have observed that you become more anxious when you have nothing to occupy your thoughts. Though I'm not pleased to see the regression in your progress, it remains at an acceptable level.
Good, I'm acceptably stressed out.
And I'm not pleased the council found a way to circumvent my recommendations by not having you focus on psi, but it appears to be helping your overall mood. So I'll allow the training to continue for the time being. How are you coping with the physical training?
There's not much to say about that. It's mostly stamina building. It's tedious. I don't mind working out. I used to go jogging with my brother every day. It's not fun to jog around a small training room because your trainer doesn't want to take you anywhere else, so as to keep interactions with other human beings to a minimum.
You get bored with things quickly, I've noticed. An adventurous spirit is to be expected given your area of study. Training outdoors shouldn't be a problem if it's early enough. Rather than using a training arena, you might benefit from a set track around the grounds themselves. I'll discuss it with Odette so she can consider alterations to your schedule.
More early mornings. I suppose I shouldn't complain too much considering I woke early anyway.
Odette has also indicated you are managing the food plan well enough. A healthy diet is one of the key components to physical health. Yes, it is, Doctor. You were deficient in many vitamins and minerals when you arrived, no doubt the result of deplorable eating habits common with university students. I imagine your sleep hygiene was as terrible. Man, don't let this man check any of my vitals or levels of anything. He would judge everything. He'd be like, girl, you need to... He'd be like, I'm putting you on a whole diet. You don't get to decide for yourself what to eat anymore. No more self-choices. And then he'd be like, we're putting you on a fitness regimen, okay? He's like, no more choices, okay? No more sleeping in. No more weekends, okay? All right? No more staying up all night. Stop it. He'd put the slap down on everything that I do wrong, which is a lot.
Have you ever known a student with good sleep hygiene?
Certainly not in New Albion's ambitious education system. It is important to safeguard your health in this line of work. Therefore, we need to correct your bad habits.
Trust me. I was there the first 4 times you lectured me about this.
Given your complaints, a 5th lecture may be in order.
Please don't.
I can't handle any more lectures. I couldn't handle another one. Yeah, that's what I just said. The last few days had been exhausting as it was. Though it didn't yet involve psi training, it was still a change from my days of doing nothing in the infirmary. I was getting an idea of just how physically taxing this job would be. Agents tried to stay in top form, since there were situations psi couldn't be used. Or in everyone else's case, where psi might even be suppressed. For the time being, that didn't seem to be a concern for me. But Dr. Sasaki had already indicated they were studying my psi waves to figure out why inhibitors didn't work on me so they could correct it. For medical reasons, of course. Well, and in case we ever encountered anyone else with this peculiarity, it was uncomfortable, but I could see the necessity in figuring it out. Odette is proving an adequate trainer. Yes, she's been fine so far. Mara has also helped a little as well. Normally, I'd been told my guard would have been assigned to handle my training, but they were busy with some case I knew nothing about. I wasn't getting access to mission briefings or anything yet, so I only knew it was something to do with a relic-related mishap. And that I knew because I'd had dinner with Van and Mara twice. Finally, are there any recent developments with your psi perception? No, nothing new since our last visit. I am keeping a more detailed observation journal now. The psi inhibitors do somewhat limit my ability to see someone's psi energy, but as far as I can tell, there is at least some relationship between the brightness, the density, and complexity. Color seems to be based on someone's rank, but people within the rank don't have the exact same color. Interesting. Such a clear visual perception of psi is not something I've heard of before. I'm curious if the visual cortex is activated when perceiving psi energy. I already told you, I don't see it with my eyes. Perhaps not. However, when our brain engages in creating mental imagery, even when sensory input is not available, parts of the visual thalamic nuclei and visual cortex are engaged. It may require testing. A series of tests just sounds like so much fun. It's no secret that your unique status has generated a higher than normal level of interest in your abilities, especially when those abilities stand so far outside the norm of what we expect from espers. As an abnormal N class, I understand all too well the frustration that can come with such a status. I bet. Abnormal. It means my skill set is outside the norm for an N-class rook. Yet I do not meet the biological requirements to be classed as a so-called fairy esper. Nothing more. So you're not a fae. That's what you're telling us. Huh. I hadn't known that about him. The previous queen wasn't able to see psi waves the way that I can. I have been delving into her records more diligently since your arrival. There is limited information regarding her ability to perceive the psi of other people. I wonder what happened to the previous queen, you know? Did she die? You know? What happened? And if she died, how did she die? Why did she die? Was it murder or was it natural? It does not appear her ability was similar to yours. Oh, so not all queens have the same abilities? Huh. Limited information. She was a member of Endgame for a while, though, wasn't she? Her approach to psi was unconventional and frequently met with resistance as she pushed against old ideals. Oh, so she was a wild child. She was not altogether forthcoming about her abilities as a result. Or is she a villain? What if she got kicked out because she kept going against the grain? And then they're like, nah, you can't be doing that. Get out of here. And they kicked her out. And then maybe she got angry And then maybe, what if she started one of these other factions, you know? What if she was like, you know what? If you're going to be like that, I'm going to start my own club. How about that? Ha! What if? It's possible. I'd like to read more about her too one day. When I get my system access restored, it might be helpful. And maybe a little uncomfortable. I knew little about her, other than she died in the line of duty. Okay, scratch that past theory. We know she died. Sylvia Visser. Visser? Y'all, there was another Visser. There was another Visser, and his first name was Jack, and he had blue hair, the same shade of blue that my hair is right now. Jack Visser of Crimson. Maybe she did end up starting the Crimson. Maybe she did start their whole little like opposition, you know? And then they're the ones that called it a cult. Is she related to Jack Visser? And if so, how? Sylvia Visser was an adept at theakinetics. Sylvia Visser was adept at theakinetics. Unless you demonstrate a similar aptitude, I'm uncertain how beneficial her records will be to you. Okay, I have to click on that because I have no idea what that word means. Theakinesis. Any mind or sight-based psi ability. This includes precognition, the ability to see the future, postcognition, the ability to see into past events, psychometry, clairvoyance, and all similar abilities. Oh! Bishops tend to specialize in theakinetic skills. Okay, alright. Interesting. Alright, now I know I have an idea of what that is now. It can't hurt to look. Perhaps. Any other questions for me, or am I free to go? Hi, Milky. Welcome, Stunner. Thank you so much for being here. Yay! Happy to see you. Just one. To sate my own curiosity, you said individual espers possess similar colors based on their rank. May I have an example? Oh, sure. You're sneaking off to work to pop in. Well, thank you so much for popping in. Yes. And for the lurky turkey. Hopefully everything is going well for you. Oh, sure. Well, Van and Odette are both bishops, and both have reddish psi. But it's not really the same shade of red. Van's color has a warm, slightly orange tint, while Odette's is deeper and cooler. So bishops are generally red. Rooks are more of an orange. But you and Caleb also have different shades of orange. Oh, queens? Odette asked me that too during our last session. It took a little while to figure out how to look inward. My psi is... I like that MC can see colors of auras of different esper abilities. Colorless. At least I think it's supposed to be. Sometimes it has a faint tint to it, but it varies. I think that's when I'm mimicking someone. Interesting. As your brain processes the sensory input from psi receptors, it seems to form imagery based on your knowledge of color and the manifestation of esper abilities. Queen ranks, being able to mimic others, possess colorless psi. There is a surprising logic to such a whimsical interpretation of psi energy. And what about king ranks? What color are they? Oh, hi, Magnus. Popping in out of nowhere. Have you been listening in on this entire conversation? Why didn't you announce yourself earlier? It is customary to knock before entering an occupied room. Particularly when a private medical exam is in progress, Magnus Ulrich. Yeah, tell him. But it seems like you were having an interesting conversation. I wanted to listen in. Of course you did, Magnus. Of course you did. I think if the medical staff witnessed me drag you out of my infirmary by that ridiculous braid, that is also likely to spur some interesting conversations. Dr. Sasaki is pretty spunky. Feisty. Shall we give it a test? How dare you call my braid ridiculous? Envy is truly an ugly emotion, you. I would have thought you got over your jealousy of me years ago, but it seems to persist despite my best efforts to make you feel more confident. Ah, is that why you insist on spending your days acting like an imbecile? This is what happens when you lose your ability to believe in the people. You just assume the worst. He wrapped his arms around the doctor's much smaller frame and rested his head on the top of Dr. Sasaki's. What a troll! Dr. Sasaki's probably furious right now. To think our poor little you has become such a cynic. The doctor, to my surprise, didn't even bother to shove Magnus away. The look on his face was not at all encouraging, though. He's like an angry chihuahua who's just resigned to his fate. He's like Kif in Futurama, you know? He's just like, ugh. Ugh. While Magnus is like, zap, Brannigan. I was trying my best to hold back a laugh, only half afraid Dr. Sasaki was going to throttle him. And you didn't answer my question, Rue. Dr. Sasaki finally slipped out of his grasp, shooting him a glare. It's Violet. Now please stop arguing. As interesting as it might be to watch you actually get dragged out by your braid, I don't want to be a witness to an assault. I swear the two of you do nothing but bicker when you interact. We would fight far less if this fool didn't insist on doing things he knows will irritate me. Yeah, that's why he does it. He knows he's gonna get a reaction out of you. You're easy to rile up. You're easy for him to tease. Such as enter private exam rooms while occupied. Magnus doesn't follow rules. He's above the rules. He's like, I'm the man in charge. I do what I want. I'm allowed to go where I wish, you know. I am in charge of this place. And you have a notoriously short fuse. See what I just tell you? You're hardly the one in charge of this organization. An irritating figurehead at best. That almost hurts my feelings. Except you know it's true. In addition, I believe I banned you from the medical wing. Oh my god, can you please stop? Was there a reason you came by, Magnus? I swear, you're just as bad as Caleb when it comes to antagonizing people. I did not come to this infirmary to be insulted. Did you come here just to irritate us? These people are not afraid of Magnus. If it was like rule with an iron fist, you know, and make everybody fear me and follow me out of that type of thing, they wouldn't be talking back at him all the time. But everybody be talking back at Magnus, which means they're not afraid of him. Hi, Ash. Welcome, Stunner. So happy to see you. Yes. I'm loving how much of a troll Magnus is. He's been trolling unrelentingly. Unrelenting trolling. He's such a brat. He really is. The moment when he gave poor you a hug, I was like, Yu's gonna be like, Yu is like an angry chihuahua that's just like resigned to its fate, you know? That's just like, ugh. And just letting it happen. That's what it's like. But he will bark about it. Did you come here just to irritate us? I'll have you know, I came with a very important message for Rue, if you're finished with her.
A message? When he opted to deliver himself? What message would that be?
I don't know if I should tell you with you in the room. It's private, after all.
Can you stop trying to provoke him for 1 minute? It will take you to relay the message you have for me. I can't imagine it's that private. I haven't even been here long enough to warrant private messages from anywhere.
You're no fun at all, I swear. But if you insist, the council has declined the 5 requests to have your system access reinstated, and the request for a face-to-face meeting.
Dr. Sasaki gave me an amused look.
You requested a face-to-face meeting with Endgame's council?
Maybe. They weren't responding to my other requests. I thought maybe if I made a case for restoring system access in person. I just want to contact my family. I don't think it's that dramatic a request.
I see. So they are continuing the communication blackout then? I'm afraid so.
But why?
Idiotic bureaucracy, no doubt. Officially, they're still concerned about the location of your family leaking if communications are open.
No one is as concerned for their safety as me, but your council has to realize they can't just isolate me like this and expect me to accept it.
I'm curious, Magnus. What is the unofficial reason our council is hesitating to give Rue basic permissions back?
I think you is on my side, you know? At least somebody's on my side. What about you, Magnus? Are you on my side, or are you just sending the message along?
Well, now, that would be telling, wouldn't it? It can't be that they're hoping isolation will make her more compliant, can it? That would be, by my observation, quite the miscalculation. It would be, wouldn't it? Especially if you elected not to warn them of such. Doesn't it seem more interesting to let them make such an obvious mistake?
They're doing what?
I'm certain our council is beside themselves regarding what to do with a new member who doesn't bend as easily to their will as most new recruits.
Yeah, because most new recruits are children. I'm a grown-ass woman and I do what I want. And I'm powerful. You know, it's always going to be easier to manipulate a child than it is to manipulate a stubborn grown-ass woman like myself. I haven't done a thing that can be considered a non-compliant unless you count the part where I was in delirium. Also, y'all kidnapped me. Don't forget about that.
I do think you're counting that. Yes. You have deferred to Dr. Sasaki instead of complying with their wishes to begin training. And you questioned their decision about communications repeatedly. I suppose they believed with you. Coming out of New Albion's strict meritocracy, you'd be more cooperative.
The meritocracy is strict, and they encourage us to toe the line under the threat of obliterating our future, but it doesn't turn us into automatons. And if you're the one in charge, surely you can do something about this, or was Dr. Sasaki right when he called you a figurehead? Ooh, everyone is giving Magnus the smackdown. Does no one respect this man? No one respects him. He's supposed to be in charge. Everybody talks back. So much sass. I expected one of his usual remarks back, but instead there was an awkward pause.
The ones in charge are the council. I sit on the council as a formality, but I am, shall we say, outnumbered.
Does he get to vote on the council, or does his say not count for anything? You know? If that's true, why did you take sole responsibility for the abduction thing before?
In the end, I mete out their orders and make sure they're followed. Unfortunately, until the Moirai give all the clear, I'm afraid the Council is unlikely to budge on the matter of communications. And the Moirai aren't focused on your family's safety alone. Then I hope the Council enjoys my messages, because they're going to keep getting them. I'm not going to stop. They may take away that messaging privilege you have if you continue to abuse them. Well, if that doesn't work, I'm just going to find another way. I gritted my teeth, fighting back the responses that came to mind when he said that. Sending messages with the actual message system was not an abuse, that's what it was for. I'll keep that in mind. But if there's one thing New Albion's meritocracy taught me, it's the power of gentle persistence. Yes! I'm nothing if not persistent. I won't let this go, just because they're being stubborn. And if that strategy doesn't work, I'll find another one. I won't sit back and wait for them to decide to reward me with a basic system function. I'll find a way to make them listen. If the Council is determined to manipulate me into submission and punish me for insubordination when I don't comply without question, then all I can say is that Endgame is far more disappointing an organization than I expected it to be. I hadn't meant all that just to spill out, especially given that I was talking to the highest ranked agent, someone who sat on that council. I mean, considering everyone talks to Magnus like that. Even the kids, even the children talk back to Magnus. Even small children sass this man. Everyone sasses him. Oh God. But this wasn't right. Instead of looking angry or insulted, Magnus just seemed thoughtful. You know, this man knows how to take a hit, you know? He takes a hit and he doesn't get emotional about it or anything. I'm sure they'll come around somehow. So, did you come intending to ruin everyone's day? Or was that merely an added benefit of your visit to the infirmary today? Consider it a bonus. If Magnus was a doctor, he'd be like Dr. House. Do y'all remember that show, House? Right? If Magnus was a doctor, and if he was in charge, he would totally be like House. And then, I can't remember what was his, the short doctor. I can't remember anybody. I can remember Dr. Cuddy. That was like House's love interest, sort of. Kinda, sorta. Anyway, there was another doctor, the short guy. That's kind of what, that's what our doctor here reminds me of. Nobody remembers that show, probably. That's how old I am. That show was popular back in the day. I also thought Rue might like company on her way back to her apartment. If I'm clear to go. Dr. Sasaki looked like he was debating saying something else, but he finally nodded. You're free to go. I will see you again the day after tomorrow. Thank you. As I followed Magnus into the hall, he leaned down to me. He leaned down. You know what that means? It means he's tall. I like that. Yes. I expected at least one parting shot, to be honest. I'm a little disappointed. He wanted to be sassed again. Dr. Sasaki's stylist struck the back of his head about a half second later. There you go. You got your final remark, okay? You got a stylist pen chucked at the back of your head. Magnus kept smiling as if nothing happened, stooping to pick it up. I've been wanting to add another one to my collection. It disturbs me. You have an actual collection in them. That's because people throw things at this man a lot. Only because you is so amusing to provoke. If you keep it up, I have a feeling you're going to need to start running. That seems like fun. Dr. Sasaki did not give chase, and we made it to the main hall without further incident. Rather than just returning to your room, how about a tour of the facility? I was surprised the others hadn't done at least that much for you. Keeping you cooped up in your quarters or the training room is a bit much, don't you think? Well, I was trying to avoid interacting with other espers. The whole unintentional mimicking thing. And, brain damage. Even so, you can't stay locked up forever. Remember that most espers are unranked and not terribly strong. They are infantry only, often low level. Elite or uncommon regardless what your experience so far may have led you to believe. Oh, I suppose that's true. It just seemed wiser to avoid crowded areas. It's the middle of the workday. If we avoid the training rooms, we're unlikely to encounter a crowd. Avoiding people is my specialty after all. Yes, let's go. Let's go exploring. Somehow it makes me nervous when you say that. Oh, come now. You've long since stopped being nervous with me, Rue. Well, I suppose that's true. We are a lot more casual with him now. We're comfortable with him. Yes, we are. It was difficult to be nervous around him, or take him seriously, given how he acted like a child half the time. Then again, if they continue to keep me locked up and isolated, I might start acting the same way. Around how many ranked espers are there in Endgame anyway? Precious few. Ranked espers make up only about 4% of the esper population, and regardless of what people may believe, Endgame houses a minority of espers, not the majority of them, even ranked ones. Before the advent of the F class, we still struggled to identify the recruit all Before the advent of the F class, we still struggled to identify and recruit all espers. Queens are the most adept at hiding from us, but they aren't the only ones who can. Some cities, states, and nations are less than thorough with testing, or don't have strict testing policies at all. Not everyone believes all espers should be with Endgame in the first place, and many espers born on the night side are beyond our reach, even if we are aware of them. There are also espers in the Twilight Wastes we have no access to. There's espers all over the place, but we can't get them all. I'm sure there are enclaves of them here, on the day side as well, living quietly off the grid somewhere. All our estimates as to how many espers exist in Arcalis at any point are based on the N class. We can't track fairy espers as easily, but we know their population has been growing at a phenomenal rate for the last 20 to 30 years. Most are likely hundreds to thousands of unidentified espers on the planet. Most are low-level infantry, barely more adept at sci than the average citizen, but more and more high-ranked espers exist outside our system, because they escape notice, fall through the cracks, or because they hide from us, as you did. I suppose there's one reason the Council is wary of you, Rue. There's another reason. There's multiple reasons why the Council doesn't seem to trust us. Wow. In a way, you symbolize a change happening in our community, a change not everyone is happy about. If this community is dead set on punishing someone for symbolizing change, then maybe change is necessary. I mean, look, I'm still learning about espers. I spent a lot of time avoiding information about them. You were that afraid of being discovered? I was, and anything to do with them made me anxious. Then I ended up dating someone who wanted to study them, so I learned a little. Trent Erickson. Trent Erickson, I believe. I gave him a sharp look. How do you know that? Your connection to him came out when we looked into your history. Yes, it was Trent. Did he find you out? Did he find out you were an Esper? I guess that part is not in the history. It would be hard to live with someone and not find it out, but he assumed I was just infantry as well. So, he helped you hide it. What a faithful lover. Well, I don't know that he was that faithful. Oh, don't tell me he cheated on us. I guess going a year with no contact does shed some doubt on that. How do you know about that? Some things aren't your business, Magnus. Even if you can dig it up. The conversation had taken a serious turn I hadn't expected, especially when dealing with Magnus. He had moments of uncharacteristic seriousness that made me wonder how much of his usual personality was a mask. It was almost like he tried to throw people off by behaving the way he did. See, the reality is he acts so lackadaisical. But when it comes down to it, he's digging up information. He's shrewd. He's smart. He's the dangerous type, He's the type that you put your guard down because, he's not serious. Oh, okay, you lower your defenses. But that's when he strikes, okay? When you trust him, you've lowered your defenses, he knows everything about you, he's smart. If he wanted to, he could use that, and he could destroy you. That's what I'm getting from this. But when we were alone, sometimes the mask faded, and he was a very different man. I wasn't sure what to make of that. So, where are you taking me? A smile flitted over his features when I changed the subject. I think you'll like it. And he was right. When we entered the garden, I stood for a long moment, just breathing in the wet scent of earth and plants, letting the humidity cling to my skin. Ooh, it looks like a butterfly pavilion. It's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Magnus took my arm, leading me down a footpath and deeper into the garden. Are we on a date right now? Magnus, are you taking me on a date? How romantic. Council sense that MC is a troublemaker. Yep, they can see it. MC is a troublemaker. She totally is. Yes, we like her that way. Many of our agents come here for walks, late at night or otherwise. I never expected to find a place like this here. As your father was a botanist, I'm sure you visited many places like this before. Magnus, I know you looked up every possible bit of information about me, but it's a little annoying for you to constantly bring it up as if you know me very well. You don't. A list of facts about me doesn't mean you know everything. And sometimes it would be nice to share something on my own, rather than have you make an assumption about it. Yes, my father was a botanist, but maybe I would have shared that with you if you hadn't. I apologize. Besides, you know so many things about me, and I know almost nothing about you. It feels like you're rubbing it in my face all the time. Well, perhaps a little. I suppose it's a nasty habit. But I find you interesting, and there's very little about me that will interest you. I think it would interest me to know who you are when you're not the eccentric head of the endgame forces who tries to annoy everyone. I don't try to annoy everyone, just the particularly fun ones. Is there anyone you don't find it fun to annoy? I'm learning it's less fun to annoy you than it is to not annoy you. Thank you. I think. We walked in silence for a bit, and I wondered if everyone would panic if I came here alone sometime. Usually I had an escort wherever I went. They really don't trust MC, do they? How long have we been here now? We still can't walk around on our own? I was certain there was still residual concerns about me trying to escape. Hi, buddy. Oh, I missed her beau. Y'all have to see what this dog is doing. Let me show you. He looks so cute. Uh-oh, this thing is all kinds of tangled up. Can I untangle it? This might be impossible. Ah! Gosh. Oh. Oh. Can I kind of untangle it? Oh my gosh. So many tangles. Okay. Let me clear all this stuff so you can see the cuteness that I'm seeing right now. Because he's so cute and funny. He's so cute and funny. Boop, boop. See if I can. Okay, Bo, sit. Oh, wait, never mind. He moved. Go where? Come back right where you were. You were so cute. You're so. Oh, hi, buddy. Hey, here, look. Dog cam. Isn't he so precious? Look at the baby Bo. Hi, buddy. Hello, Arnie. What you doing? What you doing? Are you begging? Yeah, you begging. Are you begging? Do you want something? Is this what you want, honey? Yes. Like got makeup and stuff over here. You want this? You want this? Yeah? You want this, honey? Here you go. Hey, Bo, catch. Good catch. There's a good boy. You catch again. Get it, Bo. Good catch. Penny, can you catch? Penny is in the regular dog cam spot. Let me show you. Good boy, Bo. Let me show you Penny. She's over here. She's in the normal dog cam location. Hi, Penny. There she is. Hi, sweet girl. Yeah. Penny, can you catch? That wasn't a catch. Yeah. She keeps looking at where it's gonna be. She usually is pretty. Okay, now catch. Fail. Penny sent Bo to do the dirty work of begging for treats. Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. Penny is the smart one. Between the two of them, Penny is the smart one. Catch. Good catch, Penny. Try again. Good catch. Good girl. Good girl. Hey, Bo. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, doggies, one more little handful. How about that? There you go. Another little handful. Here you go, Bo. Happy dogs. She just waited in place for rewards. She's like, you know what? If he just is cute enough, you know, he goes over there and he manipulates the human, then I will get rewards too. Because here's the thing. If one of the dogs gets a snack, the other one always also gets a snack. No matter what. For their entire lives that we've had them together. One gets a snickety snack and the other one gets a snickety snack every single time. Yep, they're a duo. So they know this. So that I always wanted to make sure that they wouldn't be too competitive with each other. I wanted them to be friendly with each other. And it was a tactic to prevent littermate syndrome too, because they're both around the same age. And I didn't want them to be like, oh, the other dog is getting attention or getting snacks or getting toys or something like that. Oh, I better attack the other dog to like resource guard. So I was like, you know what? I don't want resource guarding. I don't want them to like attack each other at any point in time. I want them to see that the other dog getting attention and snacks and stuff is going to be good for them too. So every time one dog gets anything, the other dog also gets the same thing. Whether it's toys, attention, food, you know, they get everything equally. And then when they see the other dog getting something to eat, they get excited instead of, you know, trying to, you know, growl at each other or something, because they know theirs is coming. Bo. Yeah. All right, you can have a nap now. We're going back to our game. Well, that was fun. I just had to show you how adorable he was. He was so cute. Though I hadn't tried doing that whole teleporting thing with intent at any point, I knew the fact I'd done it unconsciously had caused problems. Apparently one brief escape into the city, while half-conscious, was one time too many. Odette told me they were lucky Ari found me as quickly as he did. But that had been when I was sick. Now that I was getting better, I wondered if they were afraid I'd do it again, and maybe not be found as easily this time. What are you thinking about, Rue? Well, I'm kind of thinking about if I could escape. Kinda, sorta. I started at the sound of his voice so close to my ear, glaring at him when he laughed. Why are you right in my ear, sir? What are you doing? Oh, he definitely did that on purpose. I was thinking about escaping. Girl, you just told him straight up. Why? Oh, that sounds interesting. Do elaborate. More specifically, I was wondering how much of a concern it is that I might try. Well, I won't say it's not a concern at all, but I think everyone is counting on your not wanting to spend your life dodging our attempts to catch up with you. Because I'm sure you realize that is what would happen. And of course, we have places to contain people who do not otherwise wish to be contained. I figured as much. In any case, I'm under strict orders not to use my psi until I'm recovered. Forget about prisons. The idea of getting lectured by Dr. Sasaki is enough to keep me from trying. I'm sure he'd be pleased to learn he is a sufficient deterrent. No doubt. Wow, look at this place. Fancy! Magnus took me to a few other places than just the garden, the lobby, just to show it to me. The archive, which I was very excited to see, it was as amazing and beautiful and vast as I imagined. Enough I could even ignore him, laughing at my reaction to it. We stopped by the lounge Odette had mentioned to me a few times, but we didn't stay long because there were many people and... Wow, this place is so swanky. Honestly, I would not mind living here. You know? It's real nice. And then it has like all of the amenities, you know? It's got like, probably has like the gym, it's got restaurants and bars. You know, it has like the library and everything. It's got everything. Those Art Deco vibes make it feel fancy. It really does. Yes, it does. We were getting a distressing amount of attention. No one approached us, but they were staring a lot. Magnus, I was certain, everyone knew, which meant they could guess who I was. He returned me to my room after that. I'm afraid I'll have to leave you here. I've been out of my office long enough to cause a fuss, I'm sure. You know, this is when I'm supposed to encourage you to try your hardest.
Why don't you then?
It's much more interesting to watch and see what you choose to do. I'm glad that I'm your science experiment, Magnus. I'm glad you find me entertaining. I said interesting, not entertaining. Well, a little entertaining.
Lovely.
I'll see you later, Rue. Thank you for the conversation today. It was enjoyable.
Thank you for the tour. I also had fun. He left me and, yet again, I had the strange feeling he was a very different person than he usually presented himself to be. And now with him gone, my mind immediately went back to the situation with my system access. I was still frustrated about the refusal to reinstate it. It didn't seem like Magnus agreed with it either. I hadn't expected him to be so limited with what he could and couldn't do. It made sense that a monolith like Endgame wasn't overseen by just one person, though. That was just never the impression you'd got from the little I'd seen of them through the years. I fell on the sofa, staring up at the ceiling. Maybe I should just be more patient. When I stopped to think about it, I'd only been released from the infirmary a few days ago, after spending 8 days in varying states of unintentional destruction mode, and after a few more being prodded by non-stop the medical team. 2 weeks wasn't a long time. I could give the requests a break for a few more days, maybe 1 more week, and then I could start really throwing a fit. I didn't want them to think they'd won, but a respite might show I was willing to play nice. It would be an olive branch of sorts. And then, well, we'd have to see. This place isn't so bad, you know? Oh, look at our workout outfit. Is that what that is? Are we headed to the gym? We look adorable. I want a workout outfit like that. That's what I thought. I was surprised to wake up to a message notification on the console in my room the next day. From Magnus of all people. I hadn't even thought it could be a message from I hadn't even thought I could get messages from individuals. Just departments like administration or medical. But it had been a request to come to his office at my convenience. It included a map, which I appreciated since I had no other way to look up how to get there. Unfortunately, my convenience meant after the morning training session with Odette in the usual reserved and otherwise empty training room. No outside, early morning jogs yet. It was a little before lunch when we finished the usual regimen of meditation, yoga, jogging, and, new today, learning how to fall. Which was comical and boring at once. I returned to my place for a shower before heading to Magnus's office. I couldn't notify him, though, since I had no way to contact him back. Look at that! We also look adorable in a turtleneck. His office was in an unfamiliar area, but it looked much like everything else. I wasn't sure I was at the right place, since there wasn't a visible nameplate. It's just like a hotel. It all looks the same. All the hallways and everything. But I heard the voices before I knocked. One was Magnus, though he sounded odd. The other was a woman I didn't recognize. They were muffled beyond further recognition. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but the words were heated, quick, staccato. They seemed to be arguing. Unsure if I should wait or knock, I just stood in front of the door for a moment. He was the one who asked me to come down, but I would be interrupting. To be fair, it's not like he scheduled me in for a specific time. That implied I could come whenever. Go ahead and knock.
wait a little longer, or choice locked. I'm just gonna knock and walk right in. Why not? I finally knocked with some hesitation. In the worst case, he'd just tell me to wait or come back later. Exactly. The voices inside stopped. There was a long moment of silence. See, listen, if you do it the other way, like you just kind of wait for someone to leave and then go in, they're going to be like, how long were you just standing outside the door listening in on us? But if you just walk up and knock, they're going to be like, oh, they didn't hear anything. They just came in and knocked. You know? They're not going to be weird. But if you're like sneaking around, then they're going to be suspicious. I didn't expect the door to open seconds later, and Magnus to be right there. He glowered down at me, a dark and unfamiliar expression on his face, mouth open, as if he'd been about to say something. As soon as our eyes met, the expression melted into surprise, followed by confusion. Weren't you expecting me, sir? Who were you expecting if not me? Sorry to interrupt. You said you wanted me to come down. This is the first chance I've had all day, but if I need to come back... Sudden realization flashed on his face and he smiled. No, of course. Come in. He forgot that he summoned us, didn't he? Are you sure? If you're in the middle... Please, come in. He took my elbow and pulled me into his office. Look at this swanky office. It's huge. Very spacious indeed. Lots of natural light from those windows. Or... I guess they don't have natural light because there's a dome situation. Whatever. It's a light from outside. It looks really nice. What's this on the side on the left? Is that a fish tank? Or is that like a window to somewhere else? Huh. My gaze went straight to the other person there, an older woman with gray threaded blonde hair. Her expression was one of frank curiosity and, oddly, recognition, as if she knew who I was. I'm afraid we'll have to end our talk here. I forgot I had a prior engagement. Unknown woman.
You should have mentioned Miss Jitterrue would be coming. I've been looking forward to meeting her.
Silly me. You know how my memory is these days. She ignored Magnus as she came towards me with a pleasant smile on her face, one hand extended.
I'm Sharish Ulrich. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Magnus had released me and was headed to his desk, but he cast a look over his shoulder at me, an oddly smug grin playing on his lips. Is that his mother? They have the same last name. She's on the council. The council? The council? The one refusing to talk to me. Also Ulrich? Looking between them, it felt like there was an obvious resemblance. But it was like a wall of ice between them. I didn't get a sense of familiar relationship at all.
I'm Magnus' mother, as you may have guessed.
I did guess, and I guessed correctly. A flicker of something passed over Magnus' face. Annoyance, anger, disgust. I snapped my eyes back to Charisse, unsure what to say or how to react.
I wasn't expecting to meet you today. I suppose I owe my son thanks for his surprise.
Well, I haven't been trying to set up a meeting. Oh, well, I have been trying to set up a meeting.
Ah, yes, I heard about that. Quite refreshing for someone to unapologetically reach out to the council. It's unfortunate the ranking member has elected to decline, though some of us very much wanted to accept. I apologize for the difficult time you've had since your arrival.
A pity it's the council who's largely responsible for that difficult time.
We are responsible for everything that happens here, and we make many difficult decisions under the guidance of the Moirai. Some even we are not entirely happy about.
If you'll excuse us, Mother, I had something important to discuss with Rue.
Of course. I wouldn't want to delay the conversation. I would very much like to meet with you again soon, Rue. I'm curious about the impressions a newcomer like yourself has of our organization. In the meantime, I'll leave you two to talk.
She cast a look Magnus' way, smiling faintly.
I'll be watching you progress with interest, Rue. Great interest, yes.
She excused herself and left. The tension in the air lingered half a moment, then evaporated when the door clicked shut behind her. Come in. Have a seat if you like.
Is everything all right?
Everything's fine. I wasn't sure I believed it, but it was a point I would choose to... It was not a point I would choose to argue. Yeah, let's not get in... I don't want any drama between you and your mom. Like, that's your business, not mine. I'm not gonna... I am not going to step my nose into that one. Instead, I looked around the office, almost surprised. His desk was tidy instead of the chaotic mess I had expected, except a few things that looked like they'd fallen. Before I sat, I stooped to pick up a few of the items, one colorful paper square catching my eye. It looked like a reminder for something. There were a few more of them scattered around, notes scrawled in messy pen. It's rather old-fashioned, isn't it? I find they work better if I can see them. I don't like constant notifications going off in my head. And as I mentioned, my nanosystem is much more sparse than most people anyway. How is your day going?
The same as always. You know, I was wondering about something your mother said earlier. This is the third or fourth time someone has mentioned the Moirai. Is it okay to ask who and what they are?
Ah, that. The Moirai are a group of bishops that, among other things, monitor, for lack of better words, the flow of time. They look ahead for potential events that may need our intervention, like a rogue queen that might inadvertently end up in the hands of unsavory people who want, in fact, to do unsavory things to her. They saw what might happen to me if Endgame didn't intervene. They did. And the council takes what they say very much to heart. In your case, it was the Moirai who encouraged such a dramatic approach. There were concerns about some of the possible futures that lay ahead.
Some of them?
The future is, from what I understand, difficult. The more adept you are, the more possibilities you see. It means you can approach problems with greater precision sometimes. But while avoiding one future, you may stumble into another one that's even worse, if you aren't careful.
Ah, sounds complicated.
Well, I'm sure it is.
What else do they do, if you don't mind my asking? You said looking into the future was just one responsibility.
Perhaps another time. I did call you here for a specific reason.
Right. Sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack us.
You have permission to sidetrack me all you want, Rue.
Oh. Don't offer that, Magnus. I might actually take you up on it.
However, I fear we may be interrupted, so I'd like to be sure I have time to give you this.
What is it? He looked around his desk, frowning slightly. What is it?
He turned to check the shelf behind him, and then the desk drawer. Aha! Here.
I was worried he misplaced it. He pulled out a handheld display and held it out to me. I took it from him, curious. What is this?
A message from your mother.
What? Did they lift the no-contact order?
They did not. I contacted your family myself, and without the council's knowledge.
You went against their orders? But why?
As you well know, I am a strictly rule-abiding leader, and normally I would never do something so clearly opposed to our ruling body. Yep, strictly rule-abiding. That sounds like you, Magnus. Yes. It was really sweet of him to do that, y'all. He broke the rules so that I could have a connection with my mother. I love him. But Sasaki believed it would be beneficial. And he is, of course, an exceptional doctor, despite his awful personality. I love how these two are constantly, like, throwing strays at each other. Dr. Sasaki isn't even here, and he's catching strays. I felt obligated to agree in order to help our dearest new member. Right. You're very rule-abiding. Yeah, so rule-abiding. You. That's why you were always so diligent about wearing your inhibitor around me. Will I be able to reply? I don't have access to my messaging system. For the time being, I'm afraid all communication will have to go through me. Lol, he and Magnus went through junior high and high school together, basically. They're friends, though both would deny it. They're frenemies. They're rivals. They hang out late at night and snark at each other sometimes. I love that. It's like tsunderes being friendly with each other, you know? That's what a tsundere friendship looks like. That's a true bromance. I love it. For the time being, I'm afraid all communication will have to go through me. As I said, the council is unaware of this minor deviation. I can send messages back and forth without being detected. It will be difficult for me to do so without being aware of the contents. So if you're going to tell your mother how handsome I am, just be aware I'll see it. I'll definitely tell her how handsome you are, real. I'm like, guess what, Mom? I'm desperately in love with, like, the head director guy, Magnus. He's so fine. Listen, I think we're gonna get married. Don't tell anyone, okay? Don't tell him I said this, but I'm totally gonna rizz him up. He's gonna be desperately in love with me by the end of this. Real. And he's gonna be, like, taking notes meanwhile, like... What? He would chuckle. You're so funny, Rue. What a hilarious joke you tell. He would take it and run with it. He'd be like, oh, yes, you said it. You said that you thought I was handsome. Yeah. And then he would tease me about it. I think I can resist the temptation, no worries. Now, no need to resist. It's very well known that I'm an attractive man. I'm sure you'll just be reinforcing what she already knows. This man, Magnus, stop it. He knows exactly what he is. Yes, he does. I'm not gonna lie. He is an attractive man. He does have an ego. Nevertheless, I think I'll refrain. How sad to see someone so young, unable to embrace her heart. Magnus, stop it. Anyway, he chuckled to himself. Seeming more amused, I flat rejected his attempts to tease than he would have been if he'd annoyed me. I hadn't known him long, but I was already getting used to this kind of thing from him. I smirked slightly, because it's adorable. I mean, don't get me wrong, you are handsome. Just not enough to write home about that. Oh dear, I'm afraid that by the time you write your response, I may have well forgotten I allowed it. Wouldn't that be a shame? Don't worry, I can write you a reminder. If I put it right on the center of your forehead, you're bound to remember it. That could work. Though I found the sticky portions of the notes don't adhere well to my forehead. I've tried it before. Odette did it, while Mara held me down. Oh my gosh. I strongly feel it was insubordination. I even filed an official complaint. How did that work out for you? It was dismissed. What a surprise. Whenever you have a response for your family, let me know, Rue. Assuming I remember, they'll send it along. Of course you'll remember. Don't smirk at me. Look at how he's looking at us. Magnus, stop. Thank you for this, Magnus. He may be teasing us, but he's so charming and sweet. The fact that he's giving us a connection with our family, that's wonderful of him. I should state that while he and you were in the same year, they all went to the academy together, so they've known each other for years. This is why everyone bullies him. Oh, they've basically all known each other since they were teenagers. Okay. But even, it was really funny though, there was a detail earlier that even the children were bullying this man. Even little kids. Yep. Because of Mara. Basically, they spend every route roasting each other. I love that. I love it so much. I love it when characters have good interactions together like this. They have history. They roast each other. They tease each other. They have inside jokes. All that kind of stuff. I love that. Thank you for this, Magnus. Well, it was you's idea, as I said. But you had to listen to him and do something about it. So thank you. Magnus paused, tipping his head to the side before letting out a soft sigh. See, you was great for recommending this. But the fact that Magnus is making sure it happens, it makes me love him. It seems I'm needed elsewhere. I'm afraid we'll have to cut our meeting short. I understand. I thanked him again and left, pausing at the door to glance back at him as he leaned over his desk and scrawled something on one of the colorful notes, only to stick it to the wall beside the desk. When I was finally alone again, the first thing I did was put water on for tea. Then I settled into the chair and started reading the message from Mum. It was lengthy and relieved. But it started with a rant, angry, worried, and loving. And so like her. I smiled, even as tears stung my eyes. She insisted they were all fine. Daniel was continuing his studies and adapting to a new system. Afer did things different than New Albion. In some ways, he liked it. Wayne was having to lie low for a while, but was already looking forward to going back to work with the safety department. Brian's fiancé had moved with him. It was very romantic and emotional, Mum said. She and Dad were fine. Dad had work lined up already. She was taking a break for a while. Her name and art were too well known for her to just set up in a new place. But she'd been needing a holiday, she insisted. Oh. They were all worried about me. Oliver called almost every day from Siri to see if they had new news. They wanted to know about my situation, how I was, what happened. She never asked why I hadn't told them. All she said was that I should never have tried to deal with it alone. I was happy and sad and curled myself around a sofa pillow, sobbing into it for a long time in sheer relief. It was as if every anxiety and pressure I'd been holding inside released at once. By the time I was calm enough to even think about a response, it was nearly time for dinner, and the water for my tea was cold again. I put on a new pot and decided that maybe, for the first time, I'd have dinner in the lounge and write a response there. And I reminded myself I really needed to find a way to repay Magnus for this. I owed him one. And here we are at chapter 4. That's probably a good time to stop for the day and continue this on Wednesday. Let me save my game. Right here. Perfect. I love this game. And so far, I'm really loving Magnus. He's wonderful. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Wow, y'all. We've gotten to explore all of Endgame, it seems like. All of the places is very fancy, very swanky. Seems like they provide housing for all of their employees. Wow. You know, seems like a very rich, wealthy organization. Very important in this world. And so far they've been treating MC pretty well. The one thing though is it kind of sucks that they've been not giving her very much freedom as far as being able to see other people, not any freedom to see her own family. That kind of sucks. But it's really sweet of Dr. Yu to make sure that we're being well taken care of, and even to recommend that we have that connection with our family. And the fact that Magnus was like, I will secretly take your letter over to your mother. You know? Thank you, Magnus. That's so wonderful. I love that. I love him so far. He's amazing. Well, y'all, I'm really enjoying this game. And if you are too, if you're having a good time, consider giving this stream, if you're on the YouTube, consider giving the stream a like, a thumbs up. Consider giving me a subscribe. If you're on Twitch, consider giving me a follow. Because guess what, Stunners? We are going to do a whole lot more of this. Playthroughs of romance games and discussions about them and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to see you again. We will reconvene on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, same time, 6 o'clock Central Time, CST, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, midnight in the UK. I think in Australia it's like 10 a.m. or something like that. The next day. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you next time, Stunners. Bye! Oh, it's 9 o'clock in AEST, Australia. 9 o'clock. Oh, I was close. Yes.